Let me ask you this. What controls you? Ponder that. Think about what controls you. Does your mother control you? Before you say no, I coach hundreds of thousands of people, and I have for many years, probably into the millions by now, I'm certain. And I can't tell you the amount of 30, 40, and 50, and even 60-year-olds that get into seeking their parents' approval. There's a deeper psychology in that, but notice, does what your mother or father or friends or society or the world in general, which would be society, does that control you? Does that affect what you will do and what you won't do, and how you'll do it and how you won't do it, and when you'll do it, and when you won't do it, and why you'll do it and why you will not do it? And the truth is probably yes. The reason why is that we as humans, when you fully subscribe to just being a 3D human beings spend 99% of their time either trying to look good in front of other people or not look bad. So when I ask you what controls you, truly nothing controls you, because control is an illusion. And what I tell people is when you get into the illusion of control, you are controlled by the illusion of control. But let's go back to the topic of this video. What controls you? What controls you, and based upon everything or in reference to everything I just said, what controls you is the stories that you tell yourself. Ponder that. Notice that. Notice even as I say what controls you are the stories that you tell yourself. Notice you're talking to yourself about that. Going, well, maybe, or how, or okay, or spot on, or yeah, that's right, or this guy's full of crap, or whatever. But notice, do you know what you're doing? You were telling yourself a story about what I just said, and what I just said is it is the stories that controls you if you choose and allow the stories to control you. And then I also mentioned that we spend the majority of our time trying to look good or not look bad, and that's all a story. Oh my God, if I do XYZ, they're gonna say ABC about me, or this person's not gonna like me, or this person's gonna say that, or I'm gonna be kicked out of the Rotary Club, or he's not gonna marry me, she's not gonna marry me, my family's gonna think I'm really bad, well, my clients are gonna think XYZ, my boss, all a story. And what I wanna share is that your stories are nothing more than interpretations that you're making about life. Because if you look at your stories, how do you know those things are going to happen? You don't know them, but you know them, or you think you know them, based upon the stories you tell yourself. Many years ago, I was telling one of my coaches that I wanted to move to Boulder, Colorado. And I said, I want to buy this piece of property, which back then is nothing for me financially. It's about 15 years ago. And the property was $1.1 million. And I said, I want to buy that piece of property, but I cannot afford it yet. I want to pay all cash for it. Not that I can't buy it, I want to pay all cash. And my coach said, well, and he started giggling, and he said, change your story. And I started thinking about that, and I said, what stories do I tell myself about all the reasons why I cannot afford that property at $1.1 million cash? Well, the reality was I didn't have $1.1 million cash. I wasn't carrying it around in my pocket. It's not on the couch. It wasn't in my bank account. Why couldn't I afford it? How come I wasn't creating the money to have the $1.1 million cash? Well, the reason why is the stories I was telling myself about my abilities and who's going to like my content, who's not going to like my content. Here on YouTube, I don't know when you're watching this. I don't have a big YouTube channel. I have friends and clients and people I've coached that have millions of subscribers on YouTube. No, I really don't, and that's okay, because if I go over to iTunes, I have multiple millions of downloads on my podcast. So what I'm telling you is, by the way, it's called Jim Fortin, Transform Your Life from the Inside Out. It's all videos like this and even deeper. But here's the reality, is if I told myself that, well, people, aren't going to like my content, and I used to say, what do I have to say? If I put myself out there, they're just going to reject me anyway. All a story. So what I request you do from this video is write down all the places in your life that you are trapped right now, that you're not creating or you don't have what you want in life. And look at each story. As a matter of fact, you don't need to write 50 of them, but just write something about, some places you're stuck in life. By the way, you're stuck in life because you've run out of creativity, and you're also making up stories about that. And again, pay attention as we're going through here. You're even making stories as I'm saying anything about your list and everything else. Story, 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 story. And then you tell yourself stories about the story that you heard from someone else. Pretty crazy, right? All right. Your homework this week or this video or whenever you're watching this is write down, let's not do 10, let's do 5 things that really hold you back in life. Then what you want to write down is, okay, what are my stories about these things? Then ask yourself even this, what are my interpretations about these stories? Then finally ask yourself, which is what I do, and I teach my students in my transformational coaching programs, and we go much deeper, by the way. This is a simple YouTube video. We go a lot deeper and we dig into the stories. But ask yourself this, what is a different story that I could live from, that I could create, that would help me get the outcome that I want? Remember, takeaway, everything in your life is a story. All the great things, all the not so great things. And if you don't like the circumstances in your life, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you over on another video. Bye-bye.